Hello everyone and welcome to another one of my Ascension messages. My name is Bobby and I will be your guide for today. Today I'm going to channel some messages as I do every week and do some tarot with that. We are going to just leave it open today. I want to leave it open and see what comes through. There's been a lot of messages coming my way and I've been putting them into hidden codes because that's my new channel that's coming up. But alongside of that is other messages and that I've actually got down on my phone. But I'm thinking I really want to leave this open because I want to be in the moment more as we go along. Now, yeah, if anyone doesn't know, I do have a new channel, Codes to a New Reality. Go check it out. The link is down below. Go subscribe. It's got, I think, 6 videos already up there. The next one's going to be hidden codes to abundance, and then hidden codes of the Ark of the Covenant is coming up as well, because they're the things that my team's bringing through. So I'm just following their advice on the messages that I receive, and then pulling them all together as these short little videos, 3 to 10 minutes long videos that you can get everything you need out of those. And if you don't agree with any of it, so be it. That's all fine. We all have a piece of the puzzle. We don't judge anyone else for agreeing and disagreeing. We just allow and then accept what you need to accept. It's your reality you're creating. Always remember that. Hey, Sky. Hey, Celtic. Good to see you. So we will open this for Spirit to come through with... so there's a big quickening that's happening at the moment, and what would have happened in the past eons ago would have taken like hundreds of, if even not thousands of years to understand. And so there was a lot more closed off. The wisdom was closed off to those that were following the program, not to those that were holding the codes. But now, as this quickening approaches us, we're literally having lifetimes happening very fast, like something that would have taken 100 years before, or a couple of generations before, is happening in the matter of years now. And so we're seeing these revolving doors of those that are trying to control us, and then it's moving on to another control mechanism, and another, and another, and another, and because they're not really getting the control that they wanted, and so they are trying more and more things, and then humans are waking up because they can see it in one lifetime. And when you see it in one generation and see it over and over, it's in your face. So that's what's happening with the quickening on that side of the coin. There is a couple of other things that was coming through. I'll just shuffle the cards as I tune in. Don't forget, I am an intuitive counselor and a reader, so it's kind of like you get your own counseling session plus a reading at the same time. If you want to have one of those, I connect to your soul and dive deep. If anyone's had one of those, I've got a lot, like over, I think, 60 reviews on my website page. I've done literally, I don't know, 500 more readings over the years. So if you want to have a reading with me, the link is down below as well for that. Just go on my website. If you can't click on it, it's codes2anewreality.com, and then follow the intuitive counseling site or intuitive reading link. Sorry. Hey, Annie, good to see you, Annie. Okay, let's get into this reading for now. What's going on right now, please, and what messages can we share so that we can help others? At the end of this reading, I'll give out a few free chat bar readings, quick readings. So for those that are in the chat bar and say yes, don't have to be in the chat bar, but you just have to at least give me an acknowledgement that you would like a reading. Nothing's coming out. You know what? I've been getting a lot of messages at the moment to do with the void and going into the void. And they are literally helping me in the morning. They wake me up before I'm awoke. It's kind of like, they call it twilight. So I'm still half asleep, but they can give me messages that are pretty direct. And And they're constantly training me at the moment to move my mind into the void. And there's a big thing coming up with that, because when we have done enough work on this plane, but we are wanting to shift up the story, we need to go back to the void. And that's a stillness of one's mind. And that's the place that I was at when I was taken to this new earth. It was just a stillness. And that's where the clarity comes. That's when you realize you can manifest your life as you desire. The actions follow through after, because you're already clear in your purpose and your direct line of focus that takes you to where you need to go. I love it how they come through like that. So yeah, there's at the moment, like, no cards are even coming out, but they're saying it's the void, it's the void. So yeah, there's something to do with us returning back to that space within ourselves, which links us to source energy, which is a void in itself, a stillness of self, and an expression then of creation from that self. You have that with it. You are that as well. You are that, and it is you. Yeah, so that's first message coming through at the moment. So if you want to practice that, and if you have mornings or days or whatever, or moments where you go to practice and you're like, I just cannot get there, then just use it as a directive to use your imagination to focus on what you want. Like, use your mind that's chitter-chattering to go, yeah, well, shush enough, just so that we can move it into what we want, imagine what we want. And then there'll be other moments where everything's aligning and you feel that clarity. It's the more that you can step into that clarity, the best. So we have, oh, that's so interesting. We have the star and the death coming up as one. This is what the void is all about. It's literally what the void is all about. So we have the death card where it is, there's nothing. And we have the star card where it's new creation. Yeah, so we are coming, a lot of us have done enough work. We need to get to that stage where we say to ourselves, it's okay, I'm accepting of myself enough now. All the warts, all the blemishes, all of the whatever. And it's enough now to know that I can attain or practice moving into stillness of myself, so I can create something completely new with others or on your own. But there's the Show Me a collective that's coming together that has similar goals than as you do, to what you want to ground on earth. But we have to go through this death, and no, don't fear. There's no fear in the nothingness. There's no fear in the death. There's no fear in the nothingness. And then we have the Palace of Swords. So this is the environment that is the thoughts, which swords is all to do with the thoughts. And the Palace card is, this deck has the only cards that I know of, Palace. And I always see them as the environment that's surrounding you, that you are trying to create. So the mind is creating the next step into this reality, but we have to come to a 0 point to be able to create something completely different, because otherwise we're hanging on to all of those ifs, buts and maybes, and that's going to happen, and that person has more power than me, and that person's going to control me and make me go into this direction. All of that that's why you have to filter it through the death to be able to rebirth something new. So pretty powerful messages right off the bat for this moment in time. But this is what we are looking at creating, right? And as I look at the deck, this is just on the bottom of the deck turned up. We have the 9 of Coins. We have the Queen of Coins. We're coming into our feminine power here. We're not just moving through our life as a masculine power. We've found that out. We've worked all that out. We know how to do that. I mean, lots of us do, and some of us are still grappling with the whole physical world. But we're definitely bringing in the power of the feminine, and then asking for that to be shown up outside of us. It doesn't have to be a specific storyline that you have been following throughout your life. This is why you have to go back to the void and to the death of oneself. Okay, we'll shuffle the cards more and see what else comes up. Thanks, Celtic. Hey, Wade, good to see you guys. You guys always support me so much. It's beautiful. I don't have the hugest following, but the following that I have is such a strong following. It's pretty much how I feel, actually. And I know that there's a reason for everything. And now I am not afraid anymore as I move into this next phase, and just not even worried. Everything always gets I always get taken care of. I'm always looked after. So I'm not afraid. Okay. I think this is the way that we have to get to that point of not having any fear of what the future is going to hold for us before we can actually move into creating a new path. Because if we are holding on to any fears of the future, then it ends up carving that path towards the fear. It'll drag us into that fear. And that's why it's more important to stay as present as possible as you move along now. Okay, any more messages, please, as we go along here? We have the Sun card. Look at this positivity that's shining on humanity, moving us into a more positive mindset. The program really did pull us into a negative mindset, and everything that we are is created outside of us. Everything we think and believe and trust in is created on outside of us. So when we tune in and change our thoughts to more of a positive outcome, and it's not to say that everything's roses, of course not, but it's like not attaching yourself to the fact that oh my God, that's a bad thing that's happening to me. Instead, something that I know for myself, things that were so-called bad, was because of my emotional reaction to it that I hadn't cleared or looked at, or my power that I hadn't looked at for myself, and taking my feelings and my emotions back for myself, ended up making it seem bad or worse than what it was. So when you don't react to something, it has no power over you. And so that's what all the clearing was for ourselves, to be able to raise our vibration into. It's like the more positive we move into, which we're shifting up that bottom of ourselves, so that we're saying that's the line. I mean, if you think about it in the terms of somebody who is a criminal, like really, really negative, that's out there, you would never, I personally would never do something like that. I can't even lie without looking at myself. Like it's just reversed right back at me, or slap back at me, or whatever. I just I want to hold my own integrity. And that becomes the bottom of my integrity as I build up. I would never go into the lower, that sort of, and if I did, I'd catch myself really quickly. So as we up the game, we're upping our integrity with it into a higher purpose. We're not grasping for things to happen anymore, feeling like we're unworthy because we don't look like we're worthy to the outside world, or to our friends, or to our foes, or to whatever. You could look at me in two different ways. You could look at me as negative, and you could look at me as a positive. It doesn't make any difference to me anymore. It's I've taken my power back and know and love who I am, and that's enough. So what I'm trying to say here is that in this moment of time, as we're moving into they're calling it a transient flow towards a new spark of creation. When we do that, we need to up our game where we are at level with the higher benevolent beings that we were seeking for advice of. So to be able to come into their reality and them help us we have to have the high integrity of ourselves, that we are doing this of purpose for the evolution of our soul, not just our body, and be seen by others in this lower density, that they are approving of us, that we approve of ourselves. We no longer attach ourselves to them being the approval of us. So we're taking our power back, and we could move through this life in whatever fashion we like, and that's what gives us freedom to be able to explore outside of the so-called societal programming. And so then we're not attached, we're not even looking at that, we don't even care what they think about us. We know who we are from the heart spark of ourselves and our soul and our integrity. The wisdom that we hold is enough. The fact that we've been born here is enough. There's another message that they were bringing through a lot of, is that just the fact that we are born is of great high esteem and worthiness, because you were literally chosen into a life that was having a huge uplift during a time where source energy was bringing all back to self and a love of self. If you're in the more unbalanced, if you're born into a more unbalanced body, a unbalanced society, or humanoid, then it was going to give you the potential of expansion, huge expansion, kind of like being I have no money, and then all of a sudden I won $1 million, and so you're wow, that's so cool that happened to me. You know, that wow, that feeling that you get is what the soul is looking for, and you've got a chance or a chance here in this lower density and this very unbalanced way to have that. Whoa, get it now. But if you were already closer, if you were born as a being closer to source energy and understood so much of that anyway, it would be a little leap. It would be a little, that's cool that happens. See what I'm saying? So just to be born here as a human in this moment of time is an absolute blessing, because you have the biggest jump into feeling that way, and your soul will go, wow, where, yeah. So if I was still a Pleiadian and a Pleiadian, and then in Pleiades, then I would have already been close to source energy, and this, if I'd stayed there during this leap, this huge transient position of returning back to source energy and recognizing myself as one with all, and I am the source of the energy that I'm creating outside of myself as this reality. If I was there, it would be like a nice feeling, but nothing on this feeling, because I've forgotten, who I am. I mean, I remember parts of it, but I don't remember the full scope. So I have a blessing when I really get to that moment. It's like when I stepped into the world, when they showed me the dream where I was clear, when I stepped into that world, it stuck with me my whole life, and that was my compass, because I want to return back to that space where my mind was so clear that I was telepathic and telekinetic and all of those beautiful gems and gifts that come our way. And I have a chance in this lifetime to be that or become that, or even to carry the vibration where my children and my children's children become that. And how beautiful is that? So, yeah. Lots of channel messages. I knew that they would come through with lots of channel messages. I just wanted to leave it open. I'll probably retitle this afterwards, this live, because it's pretty powerful. We have one that's fallen. We have the Wheel of Fortune. It was in reverse. I just want to feel into this. It's so interesting. It has the number 4 on it, and the dolphins are playing. I see a lot of 444 at the moment because we're learning to ground a new frequency on Earth. We're learning to ground a new reality on Earth. The dolphins represent playtime, like let's play with this energy. Let's play with grounding utopia on Earth. We're moving the compass. Look, I was talking about me being, my compass is that dream of going into the new Earth. Because I know what it felt like, and it's the feeling that is the compass now, rather than the compass being a directive physical thing where we have to go from point A to point B. For me to be whole, I have to go find a house on the tropical islands that is inviting me, and I feel secure, and yeah, that's all part of it, but the inner core, the inner self has to be there first, because if we go, it's like if you go on a journey or a holiday somewhere and your mind is still playing crazy games of self-doubt and negative and I'm never worthy enough and all that sort of stuff, when you get to that beautiful physical location and you're still in your head, you don't have a holiday. You feel like you're not having a holiday. So you're like doing the actions and you're like, I should be having a holiday, but you still feel like you're not completely in holiday mode. It's because you haven't given yourself, your brain, a holiday at the same time, and you haven't been able to control your mind enough. So you haven't done the work on yourself enough to be able to control your mind enough to be able to give yourself that holiday, where you don't even really need to even go anywhere if you find that space within yourself. Moment to moment, day to day, you're already given yourself the gift, and then the breakthrough would be that you ground what you feel on Earth. So it's a other way around, and that's the problem with humanity and society that we've been living. It's been a backwards and coming, very backwards society. Look outside yourself for everything. Make sure that outside looks really good so that others can see that you're in a really good place. And yet it's not even the truth of how you feel inside, because you're still mentally unstable and trying to figure out your mind and be able to feel into just peace and that sort of thing. This is why a lot of us that have done this work have had to go through a lot of shadow work, a lot of shadow work. So we've had to look at ourselves and readjust our minds and figure out where the feelings are coming from and the lacks are coming from and all of that sort of thing. Yeah. Dave, 444 here too. Cool. Yeah, you get a lot of 444s as well. That's cool. Okay. Let's see what else is coming up. Trusting oneself as you go through this. Trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself, how can you trust others? Every choice you make, you need to come from self-trust. Every person that you allow in and say no to and take a break from and then bring back and all of that, it's all coming from trust of yourself and your decisions, your choices. How are you making your choices? Are you making them from well, that person seems like, so I'll go over there, but I don't feel it. It just seems like it because they've got all the bling bling outside of them, right? A couple of things I've been watching is I was watching something where they were very wealthy and they were so confused. They were wealthy, they had everything, but their energy alignment and their anger and their everything, it was just, to me, that's not wealth. To me, that's not wealth at all. Just seems like it. Okay, so we have the moon coming up. Something being discovered here. they're showing up these bats coming through this portal, which is really interesting to me because I have some of my dreams that I had many years, like decades ago, just stay with me because they're so profound. And one of the dreams that I had was there was these bats that I was leaping on the back of. They were giant bats, and I was leaping on the back of them to go into another world. And I had to go over these, jump on these bats to get to this other world. Now the bats are sonar. They're literally blind, but they feel their way through things, don't they? And they also use sonar as in I put my sonar out and then I feel something come back at me. But it's all feeling based in that respect. So it's something to do with what I was just talking about. The feeling is going to break through the illusion because the moon is the illusion card. So yeah, the feeling's going to break through the illusion. Let's see what else happens here with the tarot. Hey Yanaka, a masterpiece. Hi all. Okay. So we have another palace of coins. See, we really are being asked to ground a utopic feeling on earth. Following the utopic feelings that you have within you, what's going to make you feel the happiest on earth. That is all going to be different for each and every one of us. And that's what's going to create the diversity that we can then use Earth's playground as an adventure playground, where we don't all turn into robots and go from one country to another and they're all turning into exactly the same shopping malls and all that sort of thing. Everything's exactly the same. This is more of a feeling based and coming from our soul and understanding that I would love to be able to ground this utopia. Like I just created an image yesterday. It was of the home that I really wanted to manifest into my life, and it would be different to somebody else's home. See, but if we all follow that and ground that beauty and say, why not? Why couldn't this happen? There is no reason why it can't happen. It's just my mind saying that in a limited space, it says that will never happen, that you have already put your block up. So just be aware of that as you move up through these new energies. It's not to say that we don't have the action. You can hold something in your vortex, but you still need the actions that move with it. These things aren't materializing. They are and they aren't. So interesting, because it's that my team's saying yes, but every time you've asked for something, it's appeared in your reality, and that is true. Every single time I have asked for something, it has appeared in my reality, unless it was blocked by my conditioning of that couldn't be possible. I've had so many things happen that way. Like even when I'm looking for images and stuff like that on the internet, all of a sudden free images were available. And then I was like, oh, I need movies. And AI ended up bringing in some ability for me to make little movies and stuff. They're saying you are the instigator of your creation. It seemingly seems like an action outside of you, but the universe is bending to you, not the other way around. It's one of those things, because we've been programmed to believe that everything has to have a physical action for it to come into our physical reality. It's really interesting. But we're bringing back the magic of the Atlantis Lemuria times, where everything was in, back then it was more of an etherical, high vibe sort of a place where, and I've dreamt of doing this, where I've put my hand out and then walls would come out as light, and then I could solidify it by saying, yes, that's what I want to ground. And they're showing me that sort of thing manifested in the Atlantis Lemuria time, where the energy was held by the person creating it. The observer created the outside reality in real time. And we're moving back towards that. So it's still some way, the storyline of the logical mind trying to keep this in a very linear place still seems to, oh, well, that person built that, so that means that that's in that position. You know, we've got the storyline of how it was built and all that sort of thing. Now you can move in. But they're saying there's other different dimensional spaces of yourself. If you're in a lower dimensional space, that person would never have created that building. And so you're not in alignment with it, but you can flip yourself from one moment to the next to a higher dimension where that person did build that building, and you do move into it, and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's still coming from you and your decisions on how you want to live in a utopic reality on Earth. It bends towards you, but you're right. It's kind of like the logical mind sees it as a raising up of frequencies, but it's more of an alignment of the frequency of your imagination becoming real, solidified in this reality. That is the magic of the feminine power that was suppressed. We have the Six of Coins in reverse. For some reason, all the reverse cards, I really feel like turning around at the moment. There's a lot of sharing and caring and balance found within oneself to be able to give and receive. If you don't find the balance within yourself, how can you be that shares the wisdom and the wealth with others? Because if you're not balanced, then you will see them as a nemesis or a problem, because you're not feeling right within the wealth that you have. And so you become a hoarder or of your wisdom and your wealth. But when you're in balance, you know that receiving and sharing and giving is of the same flow of energy. It's the same flow of energy. There is no difference. It's not separated from each other. So that means when you give, you're leaving space for something else to come in to receive. And that same thing goes with your mind and the monkey mind that we have. When we say, I release that, I release the monkey mind, it clears a space for new imaginings to come through. And so you become the instigator. But they're saying that there's still a moment within yourself of stillness that has to happen as well, for you to be able to be completely, truly balanced, so that you can come back to that stillness and navigate life from a higher dimension. Yeah. And I'm feeling a very calming channeling at the moment. It's a very Pleiadian feeling at the moment. They're always very calming, etheric-like, woozy. I feel a little woozy, just to let you know. Okay, let's get a couple more tarots and before we take a couple of oracles and then open the chat bar up. One card flipped back in. Justice. Justice will prevail amongst those that have the tenacity to take this on board, to understand this. Tenacity as in, I know who I am. I know who I am now. And so the justice is in this lifetime being brought forward, where you didn't have to pass over, die and then move into the soul's realm of the higher dimension connection to source energy. You didn't have to go there. You do this while you're alive. And so you review yourself when you pass over. You review yourself. You see your story, and coming from the heart space of source, the source energy that's within you, you review your story. And so you're like, oh, I see where I lacked within myself there that made me overprotect, made me feel like everyone was against me, never trusted anyone outside of me. I see that now. Well, this in this moment, this judgment, so-called judgment, we are moving through this on ourselves, with ourselves, while we're still alive, while we're still in the physical body. And so justice will prevail for those that see themselves as the tenacity, I don't know whether they keep saying tenacity, moving forward, and grounding their utopia, that like determined to ground the utopia on earth now. And they're coming from a balanced state where all around them is going to be given the gifts that everyone in their vortex, as they move through this life, will be gifted, because they are coming into their reality, meaning they are a reflection of their work that they've done and needing to do their own work on themselves. So you'll be shifting others very quickly. Whether they move away to do the work, or they are still around you because they can see the value of how you are the creator, that you allow them to come or go. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's just get a couple of oracle. I'll grab one fortune card, and then I'll go into a couple of oracles, and then we'll open up the yes, Peter, becoming your authentic self. That's all part of it. Exactly. Okay. Our true nature of who we are is being hidden. There was a card that was flipped up, but it was already flipped up. Magical encounter will change your life forever, is what it says. I just let you know what card flipped out. Okay, that one flipped out. And a hidden truth will soon be revealed. Be open to it. That was funny when it said be open to it. Mind you, my dyslexia kicked in, and I thought it said open it. Yeah, because a hidden truth will soon be revealed. It could be that you are you ready for this next blessing coming your way? Because we can easily turn in and go, yeah, no, I'm still not enough. I still don't feel like I'm enough for this next blessing. And so I know I've done that a lot. And so that's the reality you're going to create. They're actually saying to me the blessings were always surrounding you. It's just you keep turning a blind eye to it. They're showing me closing my eyes, and I'm not worthy of it. I've got a lot better, a lot better. Because right at the beginning, I mean, I was so in that unworthy place where they literally gave me a green and gold dress in my dream. And I said, oh, no, I can't put that on. That's worth too much. And I would definitely put it on now. So, yeah, we are shifting into this new vibration of knowing the value of thyself, so that we can ground that value on earth around us. We have the goose inner knowing. You are a brave traveler. Your soul knows the way. Be confident you will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry. You are blessed. Let yourself fly. That totally goes with that. Like all the flying dreams, I've had a lot of flying dreams where I've taught a lot of people to fly in my dreams, and it's always to do with the way I felt. When you have to feel that high vibe, literally in that fable or that fairy tale Peter Pan. The only way to fly is to feel good about who you are. And you rise. It's raising yourself above the limited concept of the reality that we have created so far through a perception of fear and worry and that sort of thing. So this is all to do with becoming the observer of our reality and knowing that the soul knows more because it is the observer. So it knows all of the paths that you could take, where the lineal mind is just here to hold a lineal story so we can have this reality, not be too fantasy, but more solid. But it's not meant to create the next path. Okay. Is that all? Is that all? Is that all? Okay. This is the one that I picked straight up. The healing heart, love, acceptance, and romance. So yeah, bringing in those beautiful souls that are going to connect with you and having faith and trust in yourself when they come in. Okay, guys, I will leave it there for that message, and we will go into free chat bar readings. If you're leaving me here, thank you very much for being part of this. If you want to stay on for the free chat bar readings, there might be a message in it for you. Don't forget, I am an intuitive counselor and reader, so you get kind of two in one. You get a reading through counseling. If you want to book me, links down below. Okay. So if you like to have a reading, just say yes in the chat bar, and I will read for you. Okay, rebirthful. We have one card that's flipped out for you. I don't know what it is yet. It's face down. Rebirthful 2 and 3. Okay. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. You're definitely at the end of one cycle and you're coming up to another cycle. You're finally starting to tie the knots or cut the cords of those in your past that weren't really prepared or wanting to come with you in your next stage and where you're going. But this next stage is a little vulnerable. I mean, we're totally unknown stage for you. Temperance is needed. So that's the balance of oneself again. Temperance always is the peace of mind, returning back to one's peace of mind. And then you have the 3 of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. So I think the peace of mind that you're looking for is in trusting others, because that was in reverse. So even though something might have happened in your past with other people where they treated you not so good, or they didn't respect you enough, or you didn't respect yourself to allow to tell them to respect you more, that sort of thing, but you're tying the knot in it, you're letting it go, and then you're asking to find peace within yourself. I mean, the reading that just happened was really relevant to your cause. And then you can turn this up the right way, where you start to have faith and trust in the people that you are meeting, because you are the directive of whether you allow them into your life or not. You're no longer blaming them for anything. Everyone has their own story. Everyone's going through their own so-called traumas and bits and pieces, or clarities, whatever they're going through. And so it's up to you as to how you navigate with other people. And you can say to yourself, I love that person. I only want that person to come into my life to experience a new creation when they're at this level of vibration. And when they're not, then they don't want to be near me anyway. That sort of thing. So you're rewriting your story to shift the wheel of fortune into creating a new path where you're in control of the wheel. See, the Pharaoh is in control of the wheel. Okay, so that's for you. Excuse me. Rebirthful. Okay. Anne. I know you have the magician come in. So there's some power coming towards you of things in the past that are wanting to be showing up it's like there's a space being cleared within you that's now allowing something else new to come in. Lost wisdom, lost magic that wants to be rebirthed into your reality again is now coming forward, like the magician card, and it was upright, right? It was standing upright. I'll just let you have a good look at that. You have it all within you now to access all these different gifts of, they're showing me premonitions and looking in a bowl of water and feeling into things, understanding more, or maybe that's where the gifts get shown up to you, where you're like, show me my gifts. I look at my reflection, so show me my gifts. That I did not want to see, I would like to be shown now. That sort of thing. Literally going into a spell here. Yeah, so that will be enlightening for you. Okay, that's for you, Anne. Celtic. Celtic, you have the Empress coming up. One more card. The Empress came up. A powerful self-nurturing is coming up for me here. Learning to not be so looking at somebody else to nurture you. They want you to turn this around. The Empress is a self-nurturer. She doesn't look to anyone else outside of her or anything else outside of her to give her good feelings. She's asking you to give yourself good feelings and to turn away from all of that, the illusions that kept you in a negative mindset or trying to control situations, that sort of thing. It's like instead of looking for the outside world to line up to what you want, you have to line up to what you want for the outside world to show up for you. So that's the message there for you, Celtic. Dave. Dave, you have the Two of Wands that's flowing out, seeking something. It's like a feeling of a vastness in front of you, as the card pretty much shows, but I'm feeling like a vastness in front of you and seeking the right path. Any path is the right path. It's a decision that you make, so you might as well make the decisions based on what makes you excited and gives you the most happiest, because all paths are going to lead towards the last game, they're saying, or the end result that you're looking for. It's all going to move towards it anyway, so you could take the worst path or the best path. So you might as well, as you go along, and even as you go along that so-called best path, I feel really good about this, and then all of a sudden, it's not feeling so good. Change it to the best path again. Just keep following the best path. Don't be afraid to move as you move through this journey. Page of Swords has come up. So this is actually navigating. They're showing me neuron paths now where you're navigating your mind into the best possible scenario of living in the moment, each moment the best possible scenario, which is literally the crumbling away of all of those thoughts or problems that you thought you had that are never coming towards you because it was, you're not giving it any attention anymore. They're asking you not to give attention to those probable outcomes that are not serving you in a very nice way, negative way. They're serving you in a negative way. Yeah. So that's your message. Okay, so Monique, you have a high priestess come out for you. They're literally showing me crown yourself. I actually did that recently. It's like, I think I was at the Echo or something, I crowned myself. I didn't buy the crown, but I crowned myself. I'm like, I remember thinking, I crown myself. Something to do with you looking at yourself, tweaking the way that you look at yourself, that of more deserving, because when you keep moving forward, they're wanting you to be understanding of more value of yourself to move forward, because there's magic within you, or there's gifts within you that it's not that you repress them, but it's like they haven't come out to their fullest extent. And when you crown yourself, you allow that to be expressed. No matter who you turn up with, no matter who you approach. So even if you're, in a train and someone comes up to you and says hi and chats or something, and you are you stand in your power. They want you to stand more in your power. Day to day exercise as you move along, stand more in your power. Not in a power way of I control you or anything like that. It's more of I am in control of myself and who I am, and I love that I have new insights to be able to share with the world and that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay, so we have, that was Monique, Emma. You're welcome, Dave. Reverend, thank you. Emma. 10 of Pentacles. Oh, really weird feeling I had then. I literally flipped back to myself before, when I wasn't, when I didn't think of myself as somebody who, I was like, am I a reader? Am I a this? We're talking many years ago. Am I a channeler? Like looking at oneself and going, am I worthy? Because it's the 10 of Pentacles, this is a grounding, a solid foundation for yourself that makes you feel abundant. And am I worthy is coming up. So be aware of that, because of course you are. If each and every one of us creates more beauty on this world, then we are improving the world, and we're giving more, we can share more with others. If I, say for instance, built one home for myself, and then I'm like, oh, I know how to do that, I'm going to go and build another house and give it to somebody else, then you're giving it away to somebody else who now has their solid foundation. You're actually adding to the world. So you are worthy because of your heart. So see that within yourself, like turn it in, because you are worthy. You're definitely worthy of things that are coming your way. So use them to your advantage to be able to create the world that you really want, the utopic world that you want. Kurt, I'm an empath. Anyone feel yesterday's shift? Oh, sorry, Kurt. I was like, if you want a reading, then sure. I'm doing readings at the moment, but yes, there has been some big shifts, Kurt. Like big shifts. That's the reason why there's earthquakes and that happening around the earth as well. So yeah, you're on it. You're on it. Okay, Monique, thank you for the beautiful reading. I think we've come to the end of that. Okay, so everybody, I will say adios, goodbye, and until next time. Hang on, Kurt, let's say wrong. I'm just wondering how to handle the impact. That's tough. The tough feeling, those negative energies. Yeah. Okay. Well, we will. I'll go a little bit into that. So this is actually all coming from how you perceive your reality, the shift that I felt like an opening, and a vortex opening for me to move into the void and create something new. So the shift for me is something different, because that's how I perceive shifts now. I'm moving towards the benefit of what I want to create. And it's just to help you out. Just look at how your mind is reacting to the shifts, and how you want to navigate that, because it's always coming down to your choice. You could see it from one side of the coin or the other side of the coin. The more that you give to one side of the coin, the more that becomes your reality. So choose wisely within your contents of who you are and what you want to see coming up. It can be used as an exercise to recognize where your mind is still holding on to negative thoughts. That's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way it's going to happen. Nothing. Everything is malleable and coming from you. So yeah, it's taking responsibility for oneself. I know, and it's one of those hard lessons that a lot of people are going to have to wake up to as we go along. Anyway, that's what I've got. So it felt like blissful energy and thankfulness. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so it just depends on what side of the coins, because you've gone from just wondering how to handle the impact. That's tough, feeling those negative energies, and you've gone from that to seeing it as blissful, and that's fantastic. So just keep going towards. You've obviously got both going on at the moment. Feed the wolf that is going towards the outcome that you want the most, because you are the central vortex of your creation, and there'll be others out there that are feeding the negative wolf, but don't feed that, because then you're feeding their story as well, and they can confirm by you feeding that story. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that, because that's a whole other a whole other channeling that will come through. Okay, guys, I will leave it here. I love you heaps. And until next time, I will be going live on Tuesday with more channeling, and Thursday with more readings and free tarots. I will be putting up a new Amical. I have an intuitive school called Amical, a new lesson. We're going to see what's in my palm, in the palm of a hand. And yeah, that's going to be more of an advanced thing, but it's going to be a lesson with it as well. And also, don't forget, I have a new channel called Codes to a New Reality. Little videos, 3 to 10 minutes long, of really powerful hidden codes that are coming through me at the moment. So there you go. All done. Love you guys heaps. Until next time. Bye.